So it's 16 degrees here right now, and I've started the side-by-side, which it was cold enough out and it had been sitting all day that I started it and turned the heat on and it killed the motor. So I started again. It stayed running just fine. Now it's been running about 5 minutes from the time I went down there to here and then fed and watered the chickens. And I'm gonna get back in and just see where we're at as far as it blowing any heat or not. It's between 10 and 15 degrees here right now. And I've got the heat all the way up and all the way on. It's on defrost. I'm gonna turn it on the legs and defrost and just see. Right now, it's not blowing any hot air. I mean, it's not cold, but it's not hot at all. So it wouldn't defrost my window. Now let's see what the engine temp is. So right now it's still only at 131 degrees engine temp. And I'm gonna drive around and get it up to 180 or so and see if it gets warm and at what point it gets warm. And that way you guys will know. And then also you'll know how long it takes for it to warm up in weather that's like this. Like I said, it's about 10 to 15 degrees right now. The sun has gone down or going down. This should be a hard test for it. The reason I wanted to do this is because there's no sun out, and you know it's way below freezing, and a lot of people just want to get in these and go, and they want to know, is it going to be warm enough within 10 minutes? So you know, a normal side-by-side, you've got to put on a whole bunch of clothes and, you know, bundle up. And I'm in a pair of pants with a t-shirt on and just a jacket and a togie. And so we're gonna see how long it actually takes to get this up to ambient temp, or if it'll even get hot enough, because I've seen guys online saying that their side-by-side won't get hot when they're out riding. So I'm wanting to see, will this get hot enough without, you know, I've seen people having to block their radiator and all kinds of stuff, and you know, I think that's silly if you've got to do that, but I guess we'll find out. Like I said, right now we are at 158 degrees engine temperature, and I'm gonna go down the highway, get it at highway speed, so we're getting a lot colder air blown in here. Like I said, it says on the ride command that it's 18 degrees out right now. Google says that it's 15, so I don't know which one's right. But I seen a guy on the forum the other day, and it was 15 or 16 at his place, and he said that he couldn't get hot air coming out of his actual like HVAC. So I've got mine, like I said, on full blast, and it's on defrost, and I mean, my air, I can feel it right now, and it's gotten a lot hotter than what it was. So let's go and see have a little fun while we're waiting on it to. At 176. And I've turned it on the face and feet now, and I can tell you it's already getting pretty warm. I mean, it's warm enough now that I feel good. So let's wait till, okay, now we've reached 182 on the engine temp. So let's see what we get. If it gets a little bit hotter, I don't know what the engine temperature will get up to. But I mean, it's snowed about 4 to 5 inches, well, 3 to 5 inches here, depending on where you're at in Kentucky. And right now my engine temp says 175. 176. So what I notice is if I am going slower, like if I'm going, right now we're running 27 mile per hour. So if I'm running slower, the engine temp is about 182. And that's at about 5,000 RPM and 20 mile per hour, 178 to 180. And the heat is not, I mean, it's not by any means gonna burn you out of the cab right now. So I think what I'm noticing is if you're going below 20 mile per hour, that it's not gonna be, and when I say this, I mean, it's warm. Like, it's got warm air coming out. Like, I feel perfectly fine in here. I could ride like this all night and all day, and not have any issues. And I think if you're going slower, look here, let me turn these brights on. We got some deer up here. Out, I guess. Boy, they know that fence row like nothing. They know exactly where to go into. But anyway, I'm not seeing below 20 mile per hour. I'm not seeing it get over 180 degrees now. We're going to ride around like normal between 25 and 30 out here on the highway. We'll see what we get down here by the lake. It's going to be a lot colder down here by the lake. We're dropping altitude quite a bit. This is slick through here. I bet I get some spinach going on coming back up this. Get on it at all, my butt end just slides completely around. So my engine temp's still 180. It's not anywhere up there high. I mean, usually when we ride around, it's about 185 to 190. I mean, it's really cold right now. So I'd say a lot of you guys that are noticing it not getting very warm, you're probably in really cold temperatures because, like I said, right now, it's showing 15, or it's showing about, I don't know, it keeps going around anywhere from 15 to 20. And what I'm noticing right now is my engine temperature isn't getting above 180 degrees. I've only seen it up to 185, and that was when I was cruising pretty heavily. I'm betting when I start going back up the hill, we'll do some rally card around through here and see what we get up to. Might put it in four-wheel drive to keep my traction enough to even go. We're still only at 176 temperature. I mean, but like I said, it's blowing hot enough that I would be perfectly fine riding around in it. I mean, like I said, I've got just pants on and my boots and a jacket and a shirt, and I feel great. I mean, it's by all means, it's not going to burn you out of the cab right now. And I think we're at 184 degrees temperature-wise. Let's see if it blows much hotter. It'll only go between 176 and 185 degrees, and then it tends to slack off. So the cooling system in this thing is super efficient. But I would say that you guys that are in really cold areas, I would say that you're going to have a lot more trouble than us that are in warmer climates, because my cab in here is not overly hot. Like I said, I would be fine with it, and I don't see anything wrong with the the temperature. But it's not like you get in your truck or your car and you turn the heat on full blast and it blasts you out of the car. Now, I know yesterday we went out and drove around, and the sun was out. It was about the same temperature, and it kept a really good in-cab temperature. It got really good and hot. But with the sun not out, if you was riding in the woods, and you had this machine, I would say that if the sun, you wasn't getting any sun, and it was dark out, and it was temperatures like it is now between 1 and 20, you couldn't go in a t-shirt and pants and feel fine. And like I said, with the jacket on and a pair of pants and boots, I mean, I'm not cold at all. I could ride around like this all night. It's nothing like an open cab. But I just want to give you guys that info, and that way you can kind of make a decision for yourself. You can do some sound, proofing, deadening behind the seats, and that would kind of block off some of the holes. And then also the floorboard, there's no insulation or nothing like that. So if you're buying something like this for extremely cold temperatures or extremely cold areas, and I mean, like I said, I don't think anything's wrong with the HVAC or the heating. I'm not cold at all, but I think a lot of your expectations are this thing should be like a car. And when you get in a car, you can turn the heat on and drive around, and it'll get so hot that you're sweating. You know, this ain't like that. This is, it's by all means good enough to keep you warm and fine. You're not going to get cold, but it's not going to burn you out of the cab at these degrees. And like you can see, we just got back and we're sitting here and it's 182, and it says 20 on there now, but it's definitely below 20 degrees. What we've noticed is this temperature thing is usually anywhere from 4 to 6 degrees compared to outside temperature when it's cold. And I don't know if the thermostat is somewhere where it's got a little bit of heat getting to it or what, but if you go to Google and you look at the temperature on there, and I'll screenshot it so you guys can see and put it in the video. But anyway, that's just, that to me is, like I said, it's I can put my hands up here and it's blowing plenty of hot air to where, you know, I feel fine. So I don't know, I mean, just have to make a decision for yourself. Is that good enough or not? And as far as I know, there's nothing wrong with the HVAC on this, but could be, but I think it's fine.